Strummin through the woke Façade. The college town of Newhaven, Oregon, was a fevered clown show in 2025. Its streets a riot of protest signs and artisanal kale. The air thick with sanctimony and burnt espresso. Papa, grizzled drifter with a face like a sun-scorched hubcap and eyes sharp as a switchblade, lounged against a lamppost, his busted 6-string guitar slung across his back, its strings twanged like a banjo in a bar fight. He wasn't a scholar. His voice was a gravelly rasp forged in truck stops and bare-knuckle brawls, but tonight he was Papa for the boys, spinning a tale for his boys about a woke know-it-all, Riley, a trans professor, XY, who preached his warped version of truth but lived a lie. Papa's guitar wailed, a jagged chord like a fart in a lecture hall, as he watched Riley's world implode only to rise in humility. This was his saga, a wild romp through a circus of ego and redemption, dripping with humor blacker than a hipster's cold brew. A stopover on the trip to manhood with a cackle and a growl. Newhaven's campus was a woke carnival, where Riley, a 30-year-old biological male with purple hair and a megaphone voice, held court, preaching systematic oppression and decolonized truth. But his home, a landfill of chaos, hidden until a follower's discovery lit a fuse. Papa, the smirking observer, was here to strum the lesson home. One, the woke prophet's pulpit. Papa slunk into the lecture hall, where Riley strutted like a peacock in a pride parade, his voice booming about toxic masculinity and white privilege to a sea of nodding undergrads. He had an answer for every ill. Capitalism's doom, history's crimes, pronouns' holiness, swinging theory like a vegan wielding a tofu hammer. Smash the system, Riley crowed, his trans identity a crown of moral clout, his ex-posts at Riley Revolts, racking up likes faster than a puppy meme. Papa's guitar twanged like a clown car's horn in a funeral. Kid thinks he's a messiah, he muttered, but his house is a pig pen with Wi-Fi. Riley's followers ate it up, blind to the truth his apartment is a disaster zone. Dishes stacked like a bad art installation, unpaid bills piling like a drunk's bar tab, and a neglected dog howling for scraps. Papa's humor was black as burnt kale chips. Preach the world's wrongs, Riley, but your laundry's screaming louder. Two, the chaos behind the curtain. Papa trailed Riley to his off-campus dump, a squat shack reeking of incense and desperation. Inside, anarchy reigned. Pizza boxes bred roaches. A laptop spewed unanswered hate mail. And Riley's dog, Shay, named for the commie poster boy, naturally, not a sneaker in starvation. Riley, oblivious, scrolled X, tweeting, "Burn the patriarchy," while his life collapsed like a bad sitcom. Papa's guitar snapped a string, a guffaw like a whoopee cushion at a woke rally. "You're fixing the globe, huh?" He chuckled. "Can't even fix your mutt's dinner." A student follower, Mia, a starry-eyed freshman, knocked, seeking Riley's gospel. She froze, gawking at the filth, when Riley opened the door. Shay's ribs, the clutter, Riley's manic rants about equity while ignoring his own ruin. "You're a fake," Mia stammered, her idol crumbling. Papa's chord rang out a cackle like a pie splattering a preacher's face. "House in order, kid?" he sneered. "Yours is a clown convention, and the ringmaster's drunk." The Great Unmasking. Mia's betrayal spread like glitter at a drag show. She texted some friends, "Riley preaches revolution but lives in squalor. Dogs starving, bills ignored, fraud." The post went viral. Newhaven's woke flock turning on their prophet like vegans at a butcher shop. Students mobbed Riley's lecture, waving phones with snaps of Shay's empty bowl, chanting, "Clean your mess, hypocrite." Riley's smug answers, usually sharper than a barista's wit, flopped like a bad stand-up routine. His credibility bled out faster than a TikTok trend. Papa's guitar wailed, a laugh like a balloon animal popping. "You built a castle on hot air, kid," he hooted. "And now it's a bounce house in a hurricane." Riley bolted his apartment, barricading the door as protesters howled outside, his purple hair a drooping mohawk of shame. Papa watched, his tone softening like a dad's after a scolding. "You can't save the world when your own dog's starving." Riley's learning. Humility's the only way out of this circus. For the clown show battle. The chaos climax when Riley, desperate to salvage his rep, fired up a live extreme to clarify. But Mia and her squad crashed it, armed with screenshots of Riley's unpaid rent, Shay's neglected kennel, and an email begging for cash despite his eat-the-rich rants. The online brawl turned real when Riley's woke gamer fans, self-styled justice warriors with nose rings and VR headsets, stormed Mia's dorm, swinging selfie sticks and spray cans, screeching, "Cancel the traitor." Papa, lurking nearby, strummed a chord like a cartoon anvil dropping on a coyote. "These keyboard crusaders think they're Avengers," he snorted, "but they're about to meet a redneck reality check." Mia's conservative cousins, burly loggers with fists like sledgehammers, rolled up, their shotguns slung for show. The gamers flailed, one spraying paint only to eat a knuckle sandwich, another tripping over his own vape pen as a cousin's boot sent him sprawling. The battle was a comedy slaughter. Selfie sticks snapped, gamers squealed like pigs in a mudslide, their virtual bravado crushed by real-world grit. Papa's guitar twanged, a riotous cackle. Woke nights? More like woke piñatas, bursting with hot air. The gamers fled, their revolution a punchline in the dust. Redemption in a humble chord. Dawn swept over Newhaven. The campus quiet, the woke mob nursing their egos. Riley, humbled, sat in his scrubbed apartment, shave-fed and wagging, bills paid, the journal open to new thoughts. Mia's exposure had gutted him, but it sparkled a shift. He spoke quietly to the nearest student. I was a mess. Gotta fix myself before preaching. He started listening, questioning his woke dogma, open to conservative truths like responsibility and faith. Papa's guitar strummed softly, a gentle chord like a dad ruffling his son's hair. Humility's your first real win, kid, he said, affection in his growl. You don't need every answer, just the guts to grow. He spoke to his son's voice as warm as a campfire. This is Papa, for the boys. Clean up your own lives before saving the world. Riley learned it, and you will too. Keep your life tight, your heart open, and laugh at clowns who think they've got it all figured out. Now here's some practical tips, just a few. 1. Declutter your physical space with ruthless intent. Start with your living space, bedroom, office, kitchen, and purge anything that doesn't serve a purpose or drags you down. Organize what's left. Bed made, clothes picked up, desk clear, dishes done. Get control of your space like a cowboy roping a wild steer. Your room looks like a raccoon's bachelor pad. Grab a broom or you're just preaching woke nonsense from a pigsty. 2. Fix your daily routine with iron discipline. Wake up at the same time daily. For example, 6 o'clock, no snooze. Block out hours for work, hours for exercise, 30 minutes, even a walk, and family and friends. Limit distractions. Cut social media to 30 minutes max. No doom scrolling like a zombie. Plan tomorrow's tasks each night. 3 priorities max. No schedule? You're flopping like a fish in a woke protest. Set a clock, or life will set one for you with a sledgehammer. 3. Confront your bad habits with brutal honesty. Identify and tackle one personal vice, procrastination, drinking, porn, whatever's got you by the throat, before you dare judge the world's flaws. You can't fix society if you're a slave to your own messes. Killing a bad habit builds the grit to face bigger battles. Your chain-smoking excuses, like a hipster vapes kale juice. Kick that vice, or you're just yapping from a ditch. 4. Mend broken relationships with humble courage. Repair strained ties with family or friends. Pick one person you've wronged or drifted from. For example, a brother or a sister you fought with, or dad. Call or meet. No texts. Apologize sincerely for your part. No, but you nonsense. Listen and commit to one concrete action. Weekly calls, helping with a task. Forgive where you can, but don't grovel to woke demands for self-flagellation. Strong relationships are your foundation, grounding you to face the world's chaos. Your family's more fractured than a woke Twitter thread. Make that call, or you're just whining from a lonely soapbox. 5. Align your actions with your faith or values. Of course, before aligning, you need to really figure out what's true. But then, live your core beliefs, whether faith in God or principles like honesty and duty, consistently ensuring your life reflects what you preach. Write down your top 3 values: integrity, family, faith, that kind of thing. Audit your week. Where do you betray them? Lying to avoid conflict, skipping church for sleep? Commit to one change, attend a service, volunteer, or keep promises no matter how small. Hypocrisy undermines your right to criticize. Living your values builds a life that can withstand scrutiny like a house on a rock. Think Charlie Kirk. You're preaching truth but living like a woke poser? Line up your soul or you're strumming a guitar with no strings. Strum the truth, boys. Build, don't preach.